Fight fans, listen. If the UFC books Khamzat versus Garry, it might be the craziest welterweight matchup ever. A wild berserker versus a tactical genius, and chaos versus accuracy. This fight is a pure madness waiting to happen. And today we are breaking down that exactly how this fight will go. So let's talk about the opening round, because this is where the entire fight gets decided. Khamzat Chimaev starts fight like a grenade with a pin already pulled. No feeling out process, no touch of gloves, no respect. He sprints across the octagon like a madman. Immediate level change, body lock, and he is trying to ragdoll you into the another dimension within the first 10 seconds. He's not looking to take you down gracefully. He wants to drive you through the canvas and into the parking lot underneath the arena. Look what he did to DDP, to Whitaker. On the other hand, Garry fights like a calm, calculated sniper. Long kicks to the body and legs, side steps, beautiful footwork, high guard protecting that chin. His entire game plan in round 1 would be depend on one thing: surviving those first 19 seconds without getting absolutely launched on his head. Here is a reality. If Garry can survive that initial explosion, if he can circle out, keep Khamzat at range and make him miss those early takedowns attempts, he's got a chance. But if Khamzat gets his hand locked around Garry's waist in the first minute, brother, it's going to be a long night for Irishman. The first round is a pure survival mode for Garry. Can he weather the storm? Can he stay off the fence? Can he avoid that explosive double leg? Because Khamzat doesn't slow down in round 1. He goes 100 miles per hour until someone is unconscious or tapped. Now let's break down the strike, because on paper, Garry has a significant advantage here. Garry has a cleaner, more technical striking, beautiful jabs that snap your head back, question mark kicks that comes out of nowhere, and excellent distance control. He fights long, he's smart, and he doesn't waste energy. His footwork is some of the best in the welterweight division. He circles literally, he pivots out after combinations, and he never lets opponent pin him against the cage. That's the championship level striking, and that's more than enough to win fights. But here is the problem. Khamzat Chimaev's striking isn't pretty, but it's absolutely violent. When Khamzat throws punches, he's not looking for points. He's looking to separate your soul from your body. His striking is explosive, fearless, and unpredictable. He throws wild hooks with bad intention, and when they land, people go to sleep. Garry has a technical advantage on feet. There is no question about it. If this stays a pure kickboxing match, Garry picks Khamzat apart over 5 rounds. He's a better boxer, the better kicker, and the smarter striker. But here is what makes Khamzat so dangerous. His striking sets up his wrestling. Every punch he throws is designed to make you flinch, to make you hesitate, and then boom, he's shooting underneath and you are on your back. His striking isn't designed to win on points. It's designed to create openings for the takedowns. And that's where the fight completely changes. Look at what he did to Robert Whitaker, one of the best fighters in the UFC. And look what he did to Lee. He literally carried him across the octagon like he was a backpack. This isn't normal human strength. This is a freak nature of once in a generation wrestling dominance. Now, Garry's ground game is solid. He's got a good defensive grappling. He's training with high level coaches and he's shown improvement in his takedowns defense. But here is the harsh reality. Surviving Khamzat top pressure is like to breathe underwater. You can train for it all you want, but until you are actually under the weight, feeling that pressure with those elbows raining down your face, you have no idea what you are in for. Like, you take the example of DDP. He have nothing in response to Khamzat's wrestling, and he is a great wrestler. Garry has never faced anyone remotely close to Khamzat's physically and grappling dominance. Not even close. The ground game heavily favors Khamzat, and if this fight hits the mat early, Garry is in serious trouble. Garry have a strength, and that is his IQ. This is where the things gets interesting, and where Garry might have a path to victory. Garry has a better long-term fight IQ. He's smart, he's composed, he doesn't panic, he knows how to manage his energy. His cardio is proven, his mental game is strong, and he gets better as fights go longer. Like, look at the example of Carlos Prates. He finishes everybody that he ever faced. But when it comes to Garry just dominated him for the 5 rounds. But on the other hand, Khamzat Chimaev is a momentum monster. When he starts dominating, he goes for the kill, and he doesn't stop until the referee pulls him. But here's the Khamzat's weakness. If the fight slows down, if he gets tired, if he gets injured, he becomes human. We saw this against Kamaru Usman, against Gilbert Burns. Khamzat was breathing hard, and suddenly he wasn't this invisible monster anymore. He was just a really good fighter who was tried. If Garry can survive the first 2 rounds, if he can make Khamzat work, make him miss, make him carry his weight without without getting the finish, then rounds 3, 4 or 5 could be completely flipped. Garry's cardio and technical striking could absolutely pick apart a slowly tiring Khamzat. But the question is, can Ian Garry survive long enough to get there? Because Khamzat in the first 2 rounds is a completely different animal than Khamzat in the round 4 and 5. Alright, here's my final prediction for Khamzat Chimaev versus Ian Garry, and I'm basing this on what we have seen from both fighters. If the fight ends early, round 1 or 2, massive advantage goes to Khamzat Chimaev. His explosive wrestling and overwhelming power would likely to overwhelm Garry before he can settle into his game. The only way of Ian's winning, if Ian Garry can survive the storm, if he makes it to round 3 with his confidence intact, we could be talking about one of the biggest upset in the UFC history. A tired Khamzat getting picked apart by a Garry's technical striking and superior cardio. But that's not possible. Khamzat Chimaev by second round finish. But don't sleep on Garry's upset potential if this fight goes long.